Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Introduction to 90 Buyers in 90 Days, with your MAPS coaches, Craig Rieger and Andrea Morrison. Please note this webinar is being recorded. You will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have any questions for your coach, please type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That is fasttrack@kw.com. That's all for me. Craig and Andrew, take it away.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Holly.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Craig Rieger and Andrea Morrison with 90 Buyers in 90 Days. This course is really about breaking through ceilings of achievements, getting habits of lead generation, building a foundation, looking into our big why, like why are we going to get up and do the things that we maybe haven't been doing on a consistent basis? Like what motivates us? What happens? What do we get at the end of it? And we find when we get in touch with that, we're more likely to get up and do the things that we need to do to hit those goals. We go really heavy into scripts and really heavy into lead generation. And we thought some value for today's webinar would be to go over a couple of our favorite scripts with you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we'll start with that. So can we go to the next slide, please? Awesome. All right, so implement today, grow tomorrow. Love that, right? Do the actions today, grow tomorrow. We're going to talk about door knocking with offers. This is something that's been highly effective for our team over the last several years. It's a concept I don't see talked about very often. I've seen it maybe once on the social media sites. It's a killer. It's an absolute killer. So walking through it, what does door knocking with offers mean? Well, we know what door knocking is, right? We can go and door knock and say, hey, we've got an open house this weekend. We'd love for you to attend. By the way, do you know anybody who wants to buy or sell in the neighborhood? Like, that's door knocking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of agents are doing that.
It's really powerful. For me, and what you'll find through a lot of our scripting in this course, I'm looking to plus it. I'm looking to have a little bit easier conversation. In one word, I'm looking to provide value. And if I can provide a value that they can't get from Zillow or from an app or from even talking to neighbors, if I can provide a value that no one else can give them, there's a high probability that's going to build a relationship, and that relationship could lead to now or future business. So what's that value we're providing? It's at some point in the next month, you are likely going to have one of your buyers lose in a multiple offer situation. Yep. So it's pretty simple, like, hey, I've got these great buyers, they're offering on this property on Front Street, and regardless if you're in a shifting market or not, there is always multiple offers, and this house on Front Street ended up getting 2 offers and my buyer lost. Does that happen in every market in America, Andrea?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, so we have a buyer that just lost. Mm-hmm. Are they happy or sad?
They're sad.
Totally. Yeah, they want to buy this house. We're kind of sad too. Like, we got to put them back in the car and start the process over. We want to use this losing offer to our advantage. So as we look at our slide here, multiple offer situation, check. We've got it. We wrote an offer for our buyer. They lost. They're not backup. They literally just lost. What we're going to do is take their offer, the offer we wrote, and we're going to black out any private information. So I've seen contracts from all over the country. They're pretty consistent. Like, they've got clients' names, agents' names, addresses, prices, things of that nature. Is that fair?
Yep.
We're going to black out anything confidential. So, you know, it's Andrea and Gus Morrison is the buyer. Well, I'm going to black out Morrison, but I'm going to leave Andrea and Gus. They're real people. And it's Jim and Sally Seller. Well, I'm going to black out the last name Seller. It's Jim and Sally. The address I'm going to leave 123 Front Street, and actually the offer price I'm going to leave our buyers offered $450. And so I'm going to leave that type of information. And of course, every offer has a date on it. But I might black out their earnest money amount or anything like that. And at the end of it, I've got my name, Craig Rieger, because I wrote the offer, right? I'm the agent. I've got my client's first names. I've got the seller's first names. I have the address and the price. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make 50 copies of that offer. And now we're going to hit the streets, right? We're going to go out to that neighborhood and we're going to start knocking on those doors. And we're going to provide a value by showing them and talking about this offer, which is something they haven't seen in the past. Can we go to the next slide? Awesome. So what does that look like? Did I miss it, Andrea?
Well, it's just right here.
Oh, okay. Black out any private information, 50 copies of the offer, door knock, and then we're going to start actually going over the script. And the script on this is, and we'll provide the script in the class as well, and this recording is recorded and will be sent out to everybody on it. But let's walk through that. So knock, knock.
Hello?
Hey, I'm Craig Rieger. I'm with Keller Williams Realty. Did you see that house for sale down the street, Andrea?
Yeah, I did. It looks great.
Okay, cool. Hey, I want to let you know that house actually sold last night.
Oh, wow.
There was 2 offers on it. I represented one of the 2 buyers, and they came in at a really strong full price offer. And in fact, here's a copy of it. And at this point, I take one of the 50 copies of the offer I have and I hand it to Andrea. Here's a copy of it. I don't know why they lost. They made a strong offer, but this is a copy of their offer. They're devastated. They want to live on the street. They want the kids to go to Bonnie Slope, the school here. Do you want to sell your home?
Wow. That's maybe.
Yeah, well, what's happening is I provided her with something she's not getting anywhere else, a copy of an offer, right? In this case, I'm using an example from last night, but I could do it a week later. Hey, do you know that house down the street sold? Well, let me share with you. My clients wrote an offer on that property. They lost in a multiple offer situation. I don't know why. Maybe the other offer they had was cash, but my buyers are really strong, and they're devastated. They want to live on your street. Here's a copy of their offer. You can take a look at it.
Well, this just makes you so valid. It's not just, picking a random neighborhood and walking through and knocking on doors. You're an actual living, breathing agent who's working in the neighborhood, who's written an offer on a property with real buyers. That's something that people are going to talk to you about. So it's interesting, first of all, they can't get it off Zillow or anything else. And then second, if they're interested in selling, they're probably going to let you know. But if not, what they're going to do is point you down the street to so-and-so who thought about selling or wants to buy or is looking for property or whatever. They're going to connect you because you're valid. You're providing value and you're valid.
Yeah, even if I don't want to sell my house, if some dude knocks on my door and says, hey, I've got a copy of the offer written on your neighbor's house, I'm pausing whatever I'm doing and I'm talking to this person for a longer period of time than I would have if he or she invited me to an open house. And I'm actually going to look at this. Now, what we're looking for, as Andrea says, people that raise their hands saying, yeah, I actually do want to sell. What we also find, as Andrea shared, is you're so valid holding an offer signed last night or 7 days ago, whatever it is that they'll tell you, hey, have you talked to the Johnsons? I heard Intel's transferring them to Arizona. They're 2 doors down. Have you talked to the Smiths? They're pregnant, and I heard they're looking for a bigger home. Have you talked to the Gonzaleses? I heard their marriage is on the rocks, and they might be selling. Like, they literally tell you who to go and knock on.
Absolutely.
Because you're valid.
Yep.
Now, what we're looking for is people that raise their hand saying, I want to sell my home, and then we're able to go give our buyers a call. So here's the final wrap-up to this. And remember, it was Andrea and Gus lost out on that multiple offer situation yesterday. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Andrea and Gus, how are you guys doing?
We're just sad about that house. We really liked it.
I know you did. I'm bummed, too. Good news is my team and I really care about you, and we went out door knocking today. We actually brought a copy of the offer you wrote a couple of days ago on that one. We blacked out private stuff, so don't worry about that. But I needed your offer to be valid. We went and knocked the nearest 50 doors around the house it is that you lost out on, and of the 50 doors, we had about 18 people answer their door, and 4 or 5 people said they might be selling. And if they want to sell, we're going to get you into their house before it goes on the market.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but that's what we did for you folks, and we're so sorry you lost, but we're pushing to find you that great home.
Thanks so much. You're so nice.
So now we're turning into a win-win, right, going off script. We're turning into a win-win of letting our clients know what we did.
Yeah.
So we're looking for listings to give back to our buyers.
Yeah, I mean, basically the whole point of this is there's buyers to be had and sellers to be had in door knocking. We know that. We're looking for business. We're reporting back to our buyers. They feel good from a not-so-great situation. And if, you can develop a lot of relationships over this. One of the things we talk about a lot in the course is database and adding to our database. And this is a great way to go out and add people to your database who want to hear from you, who are curious about the market, who you can stay in touch with and get future business and referrals off of.
Love it. Love it. And, of course, this is a buyer course, and as Gary teaches us and Diana teaches us, is that if you want to dominate the buyer market, be good at getting listings. And so this is kind of a twofold. Like, this is a double whammy. Like, you can go and get that listing by door knocking, and then your buyer might buy it. Awesome. Maybe it's a totally different house. Cool. You still got a great listing. Well, that seller, when they sell, probably wants to buy a home, so there's your buyer. Or, of course, when you have great listings, you're getting sign calls and internet hits, and you have great homes to do open houses. By the way, if you're going to get a listing, don't you want a listing in a neighborhood that's getting multiple offers?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, so we're on the correct slide here. Let's talk about the buyer, getting buyers in for a consult.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, this is just a step that when I talk with people, other agents, it's constantly missed. They're not bringing buyers into the office for the consult, which, to be specific, is what this is about. It's getting buyers into the office for a consult, not into Starbucks, not into a house, not over the phone. It's into the office for a consult.
Why don't we do consults at Starbucks?
Because it's loud. You have to stand in line and get a drink. The tables are small, or there isn't one. There's a million reasons.
There's a line that wraps around you.
It's annoying.
Yeah,
there's no focus on what you're talking about. The focus is on people and coffee and everything else.
Yeah, my doctors and my attorneys don't say, hey, Craig, let's meet at Starbucks. I have to get in my car and drive to their office. It's a business meeting.
Yeah, with a professional.
So why did our team a number of years ago through MAPS Coaching implement consults in the office rather than here's what we're talking about. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Andrea, it's Craig, and I saw that new listing of yours on Johnson Street, and can I go and take a look at it tonight?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Awesome. That was our model. We'd get a sign call. We'd go and meet people at the house. Sometimes they would no-show.
A lot of times.
And then at some point in the house, we try and convince them, hey, it sounds like you guys are looking at homes. By the way, I sell homes. Can I represent you? I mean, right, that's not my smoothest script, but that was about what I was doing at that time.
We try to pitch them something, yeah.
And why would most of them not hire me while they're touring this home?
Because they're not interested in you. They were interested in the home.
Yeah, they were here to see if this is the home that they want to move their family into, not to have Craig Rieger convince them I'm awesome at helping people buy homes and they should work with me.
Right.
So sometimes I'd pick them up. Our ratio prior to having in-office consults was about 1 or 2 out of 10. Right, so every 10 people we met with, Andrea said, if that, for every 10 people we met with, 1 or 2 of them would proceed to hire us in that scenario, and we'd end up selling them a home.
And it was a lot more time consuming, right, because we're having to drive out to wherever this house is, often after work hours, which means traffic.
Sometimes to find they have an agent.
Yeah, yes. Wait there, be there during the showing, try to convince them, and then drive off to whatever you're doing next. So that whole process was a lot longer than what a consult would be in the office also.
Yeah, it was several hours of driving time, sitting around time, showing the house time, versus 30 minutes in the office. I'm doing lead gen right till they pull up. I'm meeting with them, and then afterwards I'm going back to lead gen or whatever it is I'm doing that day.
Yep.
Very efficient. Okay.
So that's what we were doing, and that's what we were experiencing. And to be honest, I was kind of fed up with it. It wasn't fun. That wasn't a fun model to be doing.
Yeah, you implemented really this model of getting people into the market center. You were my lead buyer's agent at the time. I think this year that we implemented this, you went on to sell how many houses for the buyers?
80, I believe.
80, and what was the next year?
142.
Yeah, so you sold 142 homes using this model, which is coming to the office. And our ratios went from 1 to 2 out of 10 that we met with, maybe showing them a home prior to doing a consult. 1 or 2 would end up buying a house from us, to when you started switching and saying, no, I'm not, the only way is come to my office. Our ratios went up to 8 or 9 out of 10. We signed buyer broker contracts with 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yep.
And what I'd argue, the only reason that we didn't get 10 out of 10 is some people, after they got here, we said, we can't help you.
Yeah.
Right? Unrealistic or not the type of client we're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
or
exactly.
It would literally be 10 out of 10. So in other words, if we get people to the office, it is basically 100% guarantee you're going to sign a buyer broker contract with them and you're going to sell them a home.
Absolutely. And the biggest pushback I get from agents is, well, what if they just won't? I don't want to miss out on that business. It's probably not a client you want to work with if they're not willing to come into the office and meet with you, or they're not serious if they're not willing to come into the office and meet with you. So you're not really losing. Of the people that say no, that aren't willing to come in, they probably weren't a client or weren't a client that you want to work with.
So what kind of value is it you're providing? Because again, we're back to value.
Yeah.
Just like door knocking with offers. That's a value to the person that opens the door. Here's something no one else can show you. Here's a copy of an offer written on your neighbor's home. Is that value?
Absolutely.
So what value do you provide, Andrea, that in some cases, like I remember when you're just rocking at this and selling more than you're coaching, which you're doing now, and we'd have people driving in an hour just to come and meet you at the office.
Mm-hmm.
And with traffic, it might have been 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, wow, that's impressive. So what value did you give them that convinced people to come and meet you at the office?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different things, but here's the high points, is that door knocking with offers, first of all, is a value. So being able to say, this is what I do for my clients, and in order to give you that, I need 30 minutes of your time to sit down and talk to you. So you're telling them what you're going to do versus I just run around and open doors. So
or
again,
I set up a search for you.
Or I set up a search. Yeah, no one cares. Everyone can do that on Zillow. So you're giving them that value. Here's what I go out and do for my clients. I prospect daily to try to find you more houses that aren't on the market yet, that kind of a thing.
Let me give you an example of what I did last night. We had a buyer looking in Bonnie Slope School, and we went and door knocked 50 to 100 doors in Bonnie Slope School saying, do you want to sell your home? And we met a few people that said, yeah, I do. So wouldn't you like if we could find you a house not even on the market with no competition?
Yep.
To do that, we need you to come into our office.
Yeah.
So part of it, the value is giving examples of what you do. And the good thing is, if you're doing these things or not, we'll be teaching it throughout this course. And for the items, and Bold is launching, and Bold has that value. Some of you are in Bold. This course goes really well, complimentary of Bold. Between Andrea and I, we've been through Bold 20 times. So we're just going to tell them what we do, and to do that for them, they have to come in.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. That's truly the biggest thing. I stray away from saying anything about searches or anything to that matter. What I will do is if they called in on a certain property or in a certain neighborhood, I will tell them, if we can come in and sit down and talk a little bit, I can find you some more houses that might match that criteria that might not even be on the market yet.
So in other words, you're not going deep on this initial phone call. Well, you're looking for Beaverton. What kind of house? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What kind of yard? You're saving that for when they come inside. You've got one mission when you get on the phone with them is get them to come in for a consult. And we know if we do that 9 out of 10 times, you're going to sign a buyer broker contract.
Yep, absolutely. You can't give them all this over the phone or else they're not going to see the value of coming in.
Awesome. And by the way, any questions you have, you can type into the question box. In about 5 minutes or 4 minutes from now, Andrea and I will get into questions.
Oh, yeah.
And what does give two choices mean here on this slide?
Okay, so this is where basically we're trying to create a yes question. So when you get somebody into that position where they're ready to commit to a consult, we're going to give them two choices of when to come in. Are you available, Craig? Awesome. We're excited to meet with you. Are you available Tuesday at 2 or Wednesday at 4?
It's a yes or yes.
Yeah, they don't have another option, and it's within your schedule.
It's so much more powerful than, hey, are you free tomorrow at 2?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually not. And by the way, I got to go, Andrea.
Yeah.
Right? It's a yes or yes.
Or when are you available?
Yeah. Yeah, that's never good.
I'm not, or 7 o'clock on Saturday night, or, you want to keep it. Again, what happens when you call a dentist or doctor's office? They give you their couple available times.
Totally.
You're in control.
It's interesting. We have a team that lead gens every single day. And when we get a newer team member on, they'll say things like, when they get a good lead, like, when are you available? Or can we meet tomorrow too? And next thing I know, like, something happened and the call ended because that gave the prospect an opportunity to say, no, I'm not available. And by the way, I got to go. Call me next week. Click. Where if it's, hey, are you free tomorrow at 2 or Friday or 4? It's a yes or a yes.
Yeah.
Could you meet today at 2 or tomorrow at 4? Okay, take us through the script. Take us through getting me in for a consult, and we'll move. So ring, ring.
This is Andrea with Keller Williams. How can I help you?
Hey, Andrea, this is Craig, and my wife and I drove by that listing on Sumac Way, and we'd love to see it tonight. Can you be there around 6 o'clock to let us in?
Oh, awesome. You know what? That house has been on fire. I'm getting a lot of calls on it. What interested you in the neighborhood? Why were you driving by?
We actually have kids in the school, and it's a bigger home and bigger yard, and so can we take a look at it at 6 o'clock tonight?
That's awesome, Craig. I'd love to get you into that house. You know what? I am actually 6 o'clock tonight would work really well if we want to meet here at my office. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the market. Tell you a little bit about what I can do if we choose to work together, and then we can run over and see the house. Does that sound okay?
That's fantastic. And I'm open to all that. Can we just do that at the house at 6 o'clock? Why don't we meet there at 6 and we'll cover that?
You know what, Craig, I'm sorry, but you know what, I'm not going to be able to do that. The way that we work is that we're actually going to be able to meet in our office first because I really want to develop a relationship with you and make sure that I can help you and your wife the best way possible. It sounds like you guys are really interested in a great neighborhood. Homes are moving super fast here. Like I had said, I'm getting a lot of calls on this listing already. And I know it's super important for you to get your kids into the school before the school year starts. So let's meet in my office. We can go over all of this. It won't take too much time, about 30 minutes. I can also talk to you about a couple of other homes that I have coming on in the area that we might be able to swing by as well, if it matches what you're looking for.
Wow.
And then, I'll reserve some time right afterwards to go over and see them.
So we'll meet at your office and we'll go and look at them, and you might have some other houses not on the market in there?
We can absolutely do that for sure.
Okay, great. Da-da-da.
Yep, awesome, blah, 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 blah.
Good job. I mean, that's a pretty natural script. I think I came at you 3 or 4 times, can we just see the house? And from my end, even in this role play, it didn't feel awkward or uncomfortable. You were positive, you added value, like you really got me at, hey, we may have some other houses in the neighborhood. And I assure you, if you're doing the lead generation tactics we're going to teach in this course, you will have some other houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so the first time he asked, I kind of diverted, because a lot of times actually right there, they sort of just, people want to be told what to do, so they understand like, oh, that's not really how it works, I have to do this, and they just kind of go with it. Normally those 2-3 pushbacks don't happen. Honestly, at that point, it's kind of like, okay, we need to figure something out here, and then you have to bring in the value and that kind of thing. But that first, can we see it at 6? A lot of times when you sort of
7
stop,
or 8 out of 10 times they say yes.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, I need to come in first. That's great. The other thing is that with this particular Craig buyer, it was important for him to get in and see that house, and he was available tonight at 6. I will do the consult and then run over there and show it if they seem like a real buyer. And here's the thing, is that in the consult, you can always be like, wow, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the best house or this or that, and you can cancel it. You're not really locked into going and seeing it. You can get back out of it if it's not the right house for them.
First goal is to get a contract signed with this buyer, period.
Yeah, exactly. So use to your advantage what you need to. You really the goal is get them in for the consult, sign a buyer broker agreement, and then after that, like, how awesome would it be to go show them a house that night and sell it? Sounds great to me.
Totally. All right, what's the final reason we should do consults in the office, Andrea?
Yeah,
and we'll move on.
This is a big one. It's safety. Honestly, it comes down to safety. If all else fails in this, you can bring up safety and people understand. It's not safe to just run out and show a house.
Wasn't someone recently killed and showing a home?
Yeah, and I just watched the Dateline on it a couple weeks ago, and it's not good. Like, it's not safe. That happens to realtors. They can be targeted. It's not safe to just go out and meet somebody at a house who you don't know.
However, if they come to your office.
If they come to your office.
You can feel them out. You've got your people around you. You can get a copy of their driver's license. Say that's part of your protocol. All right, cool. Let's go to the next slide. Awesome. So, yeah, door knock with offers, buyer consults in the office. Those 2 things alone, and in this course, we'll have a couple dozen more, will seriously help you crush the buyer business next year.
Absolutely.
And tell us about 90 buyers in 90 days.
All right. This course will provide you with best practices, scripts, and role-play techniques, proven systems, and the tracking strategies needed to build a high-producing buyer business.
Yeah, it was Monica Reynolds was our MAPS coach at the time, one of our multiple MAPS coaches, and she challenged our team, like, how many buyer consults are you guys doing a month? And I don't know, we weren't even really tracking it. It was probably somewhere between 5 to 10.
Yeah.
A great month was 10. A bad month was 4 or 5, one a week.
Yeah.
She said, well, what do you have to do a buyer consult today? And, our drunk monkeys were like, wow, that's impossible. And then as we coached through it, it's like, well, what would we have to do? What if we started door knocking? What if we door knocked with offers? What if we had more people come in for the buyer consult instead of trying to do it at showings or at open houses? And then so many more strategies will roll out in this program. And it only took us, and you were leading it, only took us like 4 or 5 months of focusing on it to going from 5 to 10 buyer consults a month to 30 a month. Awesome. And yeah, so it's that focus on scripts, role play techniques, proven systems. We've got to track, right? The funny part, when Monica Reynolds said how many buyer consults you're doing a month, I didn't know because I wasn't tracking. Yep. We're going to track our goals and track our success and track our results.
What's neat about this course as well is that it helps you sort of develop, of course, the buyer's division of your company or your team or whatever, is your role. And start to add to it. We'll talk about adding to a team and showing assistance and that kind of thing. But what we were able to do was actually get to that 90 and 90 and keep it going. And it never really slowed down because we had created such a great system within it. So we can help you do that throughout this program or whatever your goal happens to be. It doesn't have to be 90 and 90.
It can be 10 and 90. It can be 290. We just want you to set a goal and we're going to coach you to hit it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to the next slide. About 90 buyers in 90 days. It launches a week from today, Wednesday, October 24th at 12 p.m. Central Time. So 1 week from today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, at this time.
Duration, it's an 8-week course that are 1 hour each. These are recorded. We do definitely ask everybody does their best to be on it live just because you have a chance to interact and ask us questions. However, just that may be impossible at some point, so they're recorded. All calls are recorded, available for playback at your convenience. The total cost is $298, so you get 8 hours with Andrea and Craig. And we're passionate. We really, really love teaching with maps and teaching this course. For $300, it's a heck of an investment. And we're offering a 15% discount just for today if you register today. And everybody that registered for today's webinar is going to get that discount code from MAPS, but you do have to register before the end of today. Let's go to the next slide. So we've got some questions on here. Andrew, do you want to fire those off?
Yes. My area is all condos and mainly people who do not live in there all year, more seasonal clientele.
We love that. So the area is all condos, and so it's people that are coming in for like snowbirds or something like that, I'm assuming.
Yes, that's what it sounds like. How would you best reach out?
Awesome. We are going to go over that in great detail in the course. It's circle prospecting. We've got the programs and we have the scripts to find who owns properties. And so in that case, I might target listings. I know this is a buyer course. I might target listings, reach out to those people. So let's say your area is Florida or Arizona, and the folks that have houses there live primarily in Oregon. Well, great. We're going to find these people in Oregon and give them a call and say, Andrea, I saw that you've got a house listed here or a house in Phoenix. Is it a vacation home or a winter home for you?
Yep, it
Great.
is.
Well, hey, there's a shortage of inventory in your market right now and an abundance of buyers in your neighborhood. If I could get you top dollar for that property, have you thought about selling?
Oh, wow. Interesting. Yeah, we're only there part of the year, so we might not need it anymore.
Yeah, or maybe you want to upgrade to a better model, like maybe you want out. I don't know. But I know this, if I contact enough of those folks in that community, I'll find folks that want to sell, and if I get listings, I'll find buyers.
Yeah.
Right? So that might be one approach I'd be looking for.
One of the questions on here was, would you direct mail them? Honestly,
no.
This course is about not spending a bunch of money.
Yes.
Almost every single thing we talk about is free or very, very inexpensive. It's not about throwing out a bunch of money. It's about prospecting in order to find business.
Yeah, and it's by all means, the direct mail campaign can work over time. Mm-hmm. We are aggressive. We're in a shifting market. And Gary says, double down on lead gen, double down in your sphere in a shifting market. Guys, everywhere I'm talking to around the country has some type of shift happening. And this is doubling down. This is not passive of like, hey, I really hope I spend $200 in mail postcards. I hope someone calls me. This is us finding them and calling them. Mm-hmm. Hey, we've got buyers looking in your neighborhood. Do you want to sell?
Yep.
Right? Or it might be if you're in a downward market. We've got in our market right now, we have condos that were $300,000 7 months ago, and yesterday, one of them sold for $250. So 7 months ago, similar unit sold for $300. Today, similar unit, similar condition, or yesterday sold for $250. So that's the message I'm getting out. Like, hey, if you want a great deal right now, because I know you have not got a great deal in the last 4 or 5 years because it's been a seller's market, I've got some great opportunities. If you want to buy and get a great deal, call Craig Rieger. So we're attracting these buyers and then going out and taking advantage of the shifting market for them. Mm-hmm. Any other questions, Andrea?
I think we're good.
Awesome. All right, guys, well, the register link is right there. We're about to go to another slide. And for those of you that want to stay on, we're fired up because MAPS gives us the privilege and honor of doing 2 MAPS courses. And the second is 90 listings in 90 days. It's kind of where it all started. We did a listing one first prior to, and it worked. and then we ended up doing the buyer first challenge for our team about a year later. Is that correct, Andrea?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about 90 listings in 90 days. Let's go to the next slide. All right, great. Well, similar to the last one, this is a lead generation course. We're going to really help everybody on step 1 get in touch with their big why. And that might sound silly, but I'll tell you, I've been doing this a long time. The people that skip that step will typically fail in hitting their goals. I'll repeat, the people that skip the step of getting in touch with their big why will typically fail in hitting their goals. Right? Is it easy to be wildly successful?
No.
Is it easy to break through ceilings of achievement?
Nope.
Is it easy to create new habits?
Not at all.
Right. Which means it's going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. We need to recognize that up front. And if we know that up front, And then we're clear what happens at the end of this. Well, I pay off taxes. I put a grandchild through college. I put a grandmother into assisted living at the finest care facility in my state because she needs that help and I can afford to do it financially. I start a no-kill animal shelter. I donate money to hurricane relief victims. Like, I don't know what your big why is, but I know this is when we get clear on what it is, it's what gets us out of bed to fight the fight on the days we don't want to do the activities that we need to do to hit our goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talk a lot about that in the course because it's so important to build that foundation. So today we're giving you a lot of the, value of scripts and techniques and that kind of thing, but not to underestimate what we'll go into a little bit more on the course about why and how and actually that motivation, because it's hard. 90 days is a long time to stay focused on a goal, and if you don't have a reason to do that, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and again, this isn't about taking 90 listings in 90 days. Some people that have gone through this course, it's 150 listings in 90 days. Others, based on their current business or where they're at or length of time in real estate, it might be 10 listings in 90 days. Mm-hmm. So one of the ways we're going to help you get those 100 listings in 90 days or 10 listings in 90 days is with great scripts and techniques. So let's go over the first one.
All right, rent bow.
All right, what's a rent bow, Andrea? I know what a FSBO is, a for sale by owner. What the heck's a rent bow?
The rent by owner.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Okay, so it's a landlord basically who has put their house up for rent.
Oh, so wait a second. You and your husband, you've had a big year. You bought 2 houses and just had twin babies.
Yeah.
Doing good. All right, so when you bought your houses, let's take out of the equation you're a real estate agent.
Okay.
2 rental homes you bought this year.
Yeah.
What did you do to rent them?
I put them on Craigslist.
Oh, so you didn't market them through Keller Williams. Just as a home, as an investor, you put them on Craigslist.
Yep. Yeah.
And what happened?
For rent. People called me that were interested in it.
And then what happened?
I showed them the house.
And then what happened?
Sometimes they showed up and sometimes they didn't, and sometimes they rented the house.
So you rented them?
Yes.
Okay. So that's pretty typical where somebody buys an investment property, they put it on Craigslist, and they rent it themselves.
Yeah. Yep.
They don't hire a property manager, they rent it themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you just shared sometimes people showed up, sometimes they didn't.
Yep.
As a pregnant or just having 2 twins, how did you feel sitting at a house for a half hour and being stood up?
Really irritated.
Yeah. Now, you're early in the process. You just bought these.
Yeah.
Who sold them to you?
You did.
Oh, so I used to own these rentals.
Yes.
And Amory and I, my wife and I, had owned them for like 12, 14 years. Mm-hmm. Why did we sell them to you?
Because you were sick of being a landlord?
Yeah, totally. Just didn't need it right now.
Right.
Like, didn't need the stress of new carpets and people moving in and out and being stood up, and we sold them to you.
Yeah.
I give you a good price, too, because I like you. But the bottom line is we're at the other end of the spectrum. So is it possible that when people are renting their property themselves and an agent calls and says, hey, if I could sell this for you, would you consider selling it? Some people will say yes.
You would have said yes.
Now, other people say no, like you say no, I'm a super happy landlord, like I'm crushing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people are tired of renting, and you can give them a reason to not rent it.
Yep.
So let's go to the next slide and go over that script.
Okay.
This is a powerful script. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Andrea?
Yep.
Hey, Andrea, it's Craig Rieger. I'm with Keller Williams Realty, and I just saw your property for rent on Craigslist, and I'm calling to ask if you've considered selling your home in this hot real estate market.
Oh, no, we're making money on it. We really like it.
Oh, it's a no. Okay, great. Well, thanks for thinking about that. You're clearly a savvy investor. You know, we have a team of 5 full-time buyer's agents. We're looking for the very best deals in Portland every single day. If I could find you another great investment property, would you buy it?
Yeah, we might be interested.
Yeah, perfect. So who doesn't want it? So let's just go through this again. Ring, ring. It's Craig Rieger, Keller Williams Realty. I saw your property for rent on Craigslist. I'm calling to ask if you considered selling your home in this red-hot real estate market.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group of people that will respond right at the script and say, well, if you gave me the right amount of money,
yeah.
Or, you know, if I sold it for X, I would do it. Mm-hmm. Well, cool. It sounds like maybe I can do that. Why don't we meet for 20 minutes? And if I can get you X, let's move forward. And if not, it's 20 minutes of your time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a group of what we would call sellers in that mix. Absolutely.
And we know this because we're listing them on a consistent basis.
Yep. And you know what we find is, and we'll go into this more in the course, but is that a lot of people ended up with rental properties because they couldn't sell their houses years ago, and they actually don't want to. Keep having a rental. That's not their goal.
Yeah, they just get tired of it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And for the people that say no, like, no, I'm a happy investor.
Mm-hmm.
This is super powerful. Now, mind you, this is a listing course, yet Gary and Diana teach us that when you dominate the listing market, what do you get to dominate by default?
Buyers.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You get a bunch of listings, like it's crazy if you're not converting a ton of buyers. So, no, I'm a happy investor.
Yep.
Oh, well, thanks for thinking about that. You're clearly a savvy investor. Who doesn't want to be called a savvy investor?
That feels nice.
We have a team of 5 full-time buyers agents looking for the best deals in the city 7 days a week. If I find you another great investment opportunity, do you want to add to your portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying having rental properties, you may be looking for more.
So now you're growing your database,
Mm-hmm.
and you're adding investors to it. And when you go and list a flip or see a flip, I mean, Andrew, you're out showing homes. You might see a house tomorrow that your clients are like, no, this needs too much work. But you know it's a good opportunity. How cool is it to have a group of 20, 30 investors in your database to call up who have already proven they're not wannabe investors. We know what those are like. Those are not fun. Like, oh, I want to buy an investment property and my sister's lending me the money. Like, this probably isn't going to work. These are people that own investment properties because you're calling them because they're advertising them for rents.
Yep.
And be able to call being like, I just stumbled across a great deal today. Do you want to buy it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next slide. RentBos are, people are going to ask, where do you find the phone numbers for RentBos? You can Google their address. You can Google their name. It's amazing what comes up on the internet. There's also some programs that we'll go over in the course where you can actually pay some money and you can buy the information.
Yeah. For RentBos specifically, most of the time they advertise their phone number because they want people to call if they're trying to rent it. So those are pretty easy.
Or their email's there. We can email over as well.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd prefer to call. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 2, call your sphere. Wow. Right?
Changing directions. Okay.
Call your sphere. Like, yes, we should all be calling our sphere. What does Gary say in Shift? Double down on lead generation and double down on your sphere.
Yeah.
It's time to get really, really, really deep relationships with them. In a shift, well, Gary says that all the time. In a shift, you just share that it's your lifeline. It's more important than ever.
It's funny because we talk about all these different sources of RentBos, expireds, FSBOs, all these things, but why are we not touching the people who already know and love us?
So item of value is, I was in a mastermind with Gary's group several years ago, and somebody, it might have been Gary, somebody in the room was like, guys, we need to put Angie's List out of business. And we did a mastermind around that. And the theory is there's 1 million plus real estate agents in the U.S., and if we all really did a great job of adding value to our clients, a business like Angie's List would not be necessary. So in other words, Andrew, you've been in real estate, 10 years now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know a great roofer?
Yeah.
Do you know a great tile guy?
I do.
Great painter?
Yep.
Stager?
A couple of them.
Gutter cleaner, pool cleaner, landscaper, house cleaner?
Yeah, all of that.
You know the best.
Yeah.
And if they don't give great service, what do?
Find a different one.
Yeah, you can only refer out the best to your clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing a great job, and all of us, we've got this great list of contractors that we believe in, yet we're not doing a great job of communicating that to our clients.
And then we say we don't know what to say when we call our database. So
Yeah.
let's just put the two together.
Yeah, good job. I don't know what to say to call my database, so I'm not going to call them. So let's take it through a script. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Oh, by the way, let's rephrase this. We got the script on the next page. Awesome.
Yeah, let's go to the next page.
All right, I'll do it. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, is this Andrea?
Yep.
Hey, Andrea, it's Craig with the Rieger Group at KW. So this is a past client. It's a warmer call. You're going to be like, hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Thanks.
All right, as a past
you.
client and friend of ours, we want to personally call you and say hello.
Oh, hi. That's so nice.
Hey,
Thank
good
you.
morning. As a thank you for your business and friendship and looking outside at the pouring down rain in Portland, Oregon today, we've negotiated a huge discount with Quality Roofing, a top local roofing company, and they're offering $50 off any gutter cleaning and $500 off any full roof install. Would a gutter cleaning or roof install coupon be a benefit to you today?
Yeah, we might need to get our gutters cleaned.
Oh, great. Well, I'll tell you what. I've still got your email address here at Andrea@xyz.com. I'm going to send you over that coupon. Quality Roofing's awesome. We've been working with them for 20 years.
Okay, cool. My sister needs a new roof. Do you think I could send it to her?
I'm going to send you 2 coupons. Absolutely.
Awesome.
That'd be a huge value.
Cool.
Andrew, I've got you. Do you know anybody that needs to buy, sell, or invest in real estate?
No, not right now.
All right, well, do this. Please keep us in mind as you run across those people. Referrals are the lifeline of our business. We appreciate you, and I'll send this coupon now.
Absolutely. Cool.
Is that an easy sphere call?
Yeah.
And, we make this sphere call every quarter, and we just change it up. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, it's 100 degrees outside, and we've got a discount to have your AC tuned up by our favorite AC contractor. Would you like us to send you that coupon?
Yeah. Yep. Easy. Yeah, you can. And now we have that list of vendors, right? So we can just call them and ask them if they want to give a coupon, which they do because we're marketing it to a database of thousands of people.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Andrea, we just negotiated a discount with our favorite doggy daycare, Bark Zone.
Yeah.
And they're offering 1 day of free boarding or 1 day of grooming. Would that be a benefit to your dog?
I don't have a dog.
Oh, do you have any friends that have dogs?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you think they would love a free grooming?
Sure, yeah.
Great. I'll send you this coupon. Will you pass it along?
Okay.
So do you see how this works?
Yep.
Yeah, super good stuff. All right, let's go to the next slide. And one more bonus script, and we'll get into some Q&A.
Circle prospecting.
What is circle prospecting?
Circle prospecting is defining an area. Maybe it's a house you just listed, just sold, an area you want to do business in. You have an area you have buyers looking to buy in. Identifying that area, drawing a big circle around it, and calling everybody in it.
So you have a buyer that wants to live in the Bonnie Slope School District, and they can't find a right home.
Which happens, yes, often.
So we're going to circle Bonnie Slope School District, and we're going to reach out, and we're going to talk to every single homeowner that owns a home in Bonnie Slope. And we're not going to just target the houses specific to what our buyer wants. We're just going to target all of Bonnie Slope. We're going to ask people if they want to sell their home.
Yep.
And now if they say, yeah, I want to sell my home, we're going to go and list the property. And when we get listings, what do we get?
Buyers.
Perfect. And if it's a good fit for our buyer, we'll bring them over. And if not, we have a listing, and we're also going to then leverage that listing to attract a ton of buyers.
Yep.
All right, walk me through the script.
Okay, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, Greg. This is Andrea with Keller Williams Realty.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
Good. I'm calling today because I'm working with some buyers who are looking to move to your neighborhood. And as you probably know, virtually everything on the market is already sold. So I promised my buyers I'd call around to the neighborhood. Have you thought about selling?
No, we're good.
Do you know of any neighbors or friends who've thought about selling?
Can't think of any.
Oh, awesome. Well, it's a great time to be a buyer as well. Have you thought about investing?
Nope, we're good.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Now, right, that's pretty typical.
Yeah, it's
But
really typical.
It's a cold call.
Mm-hmm.
Yet if you can reach 100 of these people in Bonnie Slope, how many appointments are you going to set on average?
3 out of 100.
And of the 3, how many are probably serious and might sign contracts with you?
Maybe 1 or 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a good way to get another listing.
Yep. So these are just a handful of techniques and scripts. We've got the rent bows, we've got the sphere calls, we've got circle prospecting, and we've got a couple dozen more. Can we go to the next slide? That will take you through in 90 listings in 90 days. So tell us about the course, Andrea.
All right. So 90 listings in 90 days. This course will arm you with the models to organize a sales team, scripts and prospecting systems for listings and buyers, accountability and tracking strategies, and role-playing techniques that will transform your business.
Yeah, I'm passionate about this one. Passionate about both courses, 90 buyers, 90 listings. Yeah, we bring it. We really bring it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. We are a prospecting-based team. Our team is literally prospecting now. They had 2 listing appointments set by 8:45 this morning. And so what I like about this course is we're shifting with the market. It's not like, oh, here's some scripts and go and use them. No, this is what we're doing today that worked. This is what we did 6 months ago that worked. Here's what we did 6 months ago. It's not working in the shifting market. Here's where we adapted it, and now it's working again. Mm-hmm. So you're getting up to the date what we see working. And again, as I open up the call, we'll work on mindset and foundational to make sure we can grow a really, really powerful and big listing business. Can we go to the next slide? Great. So it starts Wednesday, the 24th at 2 p.m. Central. It's an 8-week course. You're going to get 8 hours with Andrea and I over 8 weeks. All the calls are live. We do ask everybody to do their best to be on them because you get a chance to interact and ask us live questions. We realize over 8 weeks that may occasionally be impossible, so everything is recorded so you can play it back at your convenience. The total cost is $298, and if you sign up today, you get a 15% discount. And MAPS is going to send you a discount code. It is only good for today for you registering for this webinar.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions about whether, for both of these courses, if it's good to take it during Bold or not. And yes. I just want to say it complements Bold very, very well. I know Bold is often run on Wednesdays, so it's okay. I mean, go to Bold, obviously, and then listen to the recording after. There's something you'll be invited to called Base Camp. You can ask us questions through that or our Facebook group. We're here for you if you can't be on the live calls. I know that's definitely a concern of a lot of you guys.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the next slide. Any questions that we have? We're there. All right, any questions, Andrea? No questions.
No more.
We must have done a good job.
I think we did.
All right. Well, guys, we'd love to see you for 90 listings, 90 days, and or 90 buyers for 90 days. Thanks so much for being on the webinar, and thank you, Maps, for putting this all together. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.